Hello everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel. This is Hazel Lucia Tarot and I am your tarot reader Stephanie, and today's reading is about messages from the Love Goddess Aphrodite. So a very beautiful little Valentine's reading regarding any love or self-love or even beauty messages from the Love Goddess herself. And of course I am incorporating any Love Goddess. I'm just using Aphrodite because she is the archetypical one, at least on the Western world. But I am channeling Love Goddess energy in general. We have 4 piles here for you today to choose from. Pile 1, we have Aphrodite, and this card says passion. Pile 2, well, they all say Aphrodite. I don't know why I said that. This one says romance. Pile 3, this one says self-love. And pile 4, this is actually a tarot card. It says the lovers. And of course, underneath that, it says Aphrodite. So take a few moments, take a few deep breaths, invoke the love goddesses, the love energy in general, and I'll be ready for your reading whenever you are. Okay, pile 1. If you chose this particular card with Aphrodite, the card says passion. And I'm loving this yellow dress. It's very cute. And this hair, maybe some of you are redheads or I don't know, but there's something very colorful. You chose the most colorful out of all the cards. So maybe you just love bright colors. But let's go ahead and see what messages are going to be channeled from the Love Goddess here for you. In the tarot, we're going to go into 3 specific topics. I want to do romance as in like, you know, your love relationships, your self-love, and then beauty as well. So let's go ahead and get some cards for you. What messages does she want to bring through? Ooh, we have, what does this say? Wilderness. Ooh, some of you have some like really very earthy energy, like a wilderness to you. You are somebody who cannot be tamed. Even if in every other aspect of your life, you might be a little bit more, you know, a little bit more reserved, maybe a little bit more shy, you have something within you that cannot be tamed. And I feel like for a lot of you, this is actually either your beauty. You might have like a rather quote, quote, exotic look to you for the area you are in, or you could just look like somebody who spends a lot of time, you know, outdoors or doing something. I don't know, it's hard to describe because I've been described this before, but it doesn't really show until I'm like outside doing something. Some of you could be like, if you're at the gym, you just look like you belong there. Like there's something wild about you. There's also something really fun about you. Maybe some of you love to go partying or you like to go to festivals. That's the kind of energy I'm channeling. Strong Sagittarius, kind of, maybe Gemini. But for you, love is something that cannot be tamed. Therefore, you will love people no matter what people believe or feel you should be with. You love whomever you love and you don't care. So this could easily be my pile of people who have had either unconventional relationships, or you could, like, for example, date outside of your race a lot, or maybe even exclusively. I don't know, but there's something, people question some of your life choices, but you don't really seem to care that much about it because it's not their life choices, it's yours. Well, let's go ahead and get more cards. I'm actually using more goddess decks here. So pile 1, messages from the goddess Aphrodite. What is coming through? Freya, complexity. She's another love goddess, and I'm not surprised. You're a complex person and you're okay with that. You're undefinable, and that is okay because that itself is something rather beautiful. Like, you don't want anybody to ever just typecast you as something that you may decide to not be the next day. And I feel like this is also an encouragement from the Love Goddess to just be who you need to be. Feel who you... Don't be afraid to feel out different modalities. Like, don't be afraid to try out different things. Because I feel like a lot of you do not like to be defined. This is very strong, like, mutable energy. So I already mentioned Sagittarius and Gemini, but it could also be Pisces and kind of Virgo. Virgo, I think, is the one who doesn't mind being defined more than all of those 4, but there's definitely something wild about you. Maybe Aquarius energy is coming through here as well. Let's go ahead and get more cards. Anything else? People love your complex nature. It's like once they think they have you figured out, you completely, well, maybe not completely change, but you bring out something different. You really, like, you're definitely made for somebody who like likes exciting relationships because you're not just one person. You're like a multitude of people. We have Pratyahara, and I will read from the book for this, Pratyahara. And back of the decks, I'm being told to do so, Svadaya. Interesting. And then from the glyph deck, for my pile one. You stand out a lot. I'm noticing that. Like, you stand out a lot because people have a hard time defining you. We have cleansing smoke. I feel like you're really good at purging things that are not suited for you. And water, primordial. Maybe you love being around water. You could also have water in your chart, like I mentioned, but I'm getting a combination of like fire, water, and air. This is an energy that I myself am not very, like, this is very much not my energy, but this is definitely something that you definitely embody whenever you are in your love energy, whenever your beauty is something that is ethereal, something that is intangible, and people love this. It's like people cannot define it, and you don't want it to be defined. Like, you're definitely not classic beauty, but you are beauty itself in all the ways that it moves and changes, and there's just something so magnetic about you that people have a hard time defining, but I don't think they want to define it because then that would take away from it. It's like you're like smoke or water. Notice how like neither of them are something that you can really contain. Well, you can't contain water in a container, but like it still moves around and it changes, and even when it's still, like, it can move. It's weird. Like, there's something very, you're like a current or a gust of wind. You bring about change, and you're definitely somebody who doesn't stay around long. Maybe you have commitment issues, or commitment is just something you're not really concerned with. Maybe issues is the wrong word, because maybe it's like, I'm even hearing your higher self say, it's like, is commitment really necessary as long as we're having fun and we're enjoying the time we have right now? This has to be a Sagittarius, like this energy, I swear. Your energy is very interesting, pile one. Let's go ahead and get more cards for you, though. This is definitely not my energy, though. Sometimes when I do these readings, I'm like, oh, this definitely sounds like me. But this is, I have a lot of Pisces, but like my Taurus grounds me a lot. Maybe you like earth signs because they ground you and they're able to define something for you that you yourself have a hard time defining. And maybe this is why you were drawn to my readings, because I have a lot of earth in my chart. Let's get more cards for you. We have the Queen. Yes, I definitely see people calling you a queen because of this amazing energy you have. You also are very much in your feminine energy, unapologetically so. Like, you definitely embody it. And the Ring. Oddly enough, I feel like you attract a lot of people who want to tie you down. I feel like you attract a lot of people who like want to put a ring on it, want to have you as, you know, husband, wife material, whatever the case may be here. But I feel like you really, really value your independence. So even if you are committed, even if you do have somebody, like, you expect them to give you your freedom to go do the things that you need to do, whether that's, for example, an open relationship or even just, you know, partying with your friends, whatever the case may be. There's something here about you not being defined by one thing or another. You could change your look physically. You could change your look very often. Maybe you dye your hair to something different like every few times a year. Back of the deck, the prayer. Why am I hearing Madonna's like a prayer? Yeah, that's so interesting. Your energy is something else, pile one. I don't know what to tell you. You're very colorful and you're hard to define, but you're okay with your complexity. This is part of what makes you beautiful, is that you're hard to define. That you're not something that can just be pinpointed. I feel like your idea of love changes as well. Like right now, it's very free-flowing. It's very open. Like, you're very much open to the beauty of the universe and whatever it has to offer you. But maybe down the line, you may decide to settle down or become something a little bit more conventional, whatever the case may be. But for now, you're in this energy of exploring the world and yourself because you're allowed to, because you can. It feels very youthful. So a lot of you could be like in your 20s, earlier mid-20s, or even if you're not, maybe you've had a new lease on life where like maybe you came out of a relationship, so now you have a lot of freedom, and therefore you're able to like explore all sorts of new things, whether it's like different partners, different ways of being. Maybe you're taking a new approach to your dating life, and I feel like that's very refreshing. And Aphrodite is with you every chance of the way, as long as you keep that love within you. It's there. I feel like you're a very passionate person, though, like very passionate. And people may not even, like, they may be surprised when they find this out about you, because you may not look very passionate or even that intense, but like once they get with you, it's like, oh wow, I didn't realize pile one would go this hard, essentially, is what I'm hearing. Beautiful energy. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard to stay grounded in this energy because like like I said, it's not my energy. Like, I don't consider myself like this, but it's so It's just so different. I'm going to read from the book for Pratyahara and Svada. Sorry, I'm mispronouncing the crap out of these. Svadaya. Okay, so from the book, control of the senses. Recently, you let go of some distractions in your life and everything has upgraded since. You've realized that holding on to things, food, stimulants, or people only keeps you anchored to the physical world. Truth lies in letting go of all of that is not you. The daily coffee, piece of chocolate, social media addiction, or need to buy, those were once such a part of your identity, but have now diminished. This is a time to go deeper into pratyahara and let go of any attachments, even those that are less obvious. Continue to meditate, which draws you immediately into pratyahara and illuminates what is you are holding on to. It is only from here that you can listen to the truth within and act accordingly. So maybe some of you have had like an out-of-body experience or something, because it seems like you've let go of so much, which explains why you don't feel grounded. You've let go of earthly attachments. So even if you are an earth sign, maybe you've let so much go that you're like so high up and you just don't know who you are anymore. And that's fine. I feel like you needed this point in time to explore yourself in this way. And this is actually affecting not just your love life, but also the way you look and also the way you carry yourself in life. It's kind of odd. It's kind of like letting go is an act of self-love. And I feel like I said that in was it the February predictions? I think so. I said something similar in one of the piles. Your way of loving yourself is by letting go of that which has no service to you, which is just not going to bring you anything. And then we're going to look up Svadaya. Niyama, self-study. We are each born with a book of infinite wisdom, stories, inventions, and emotions. This book is our own consciousness. If we take the path to truly studying the self, we will never become bored with our findings. Instead of trying to acquire more information, take the focus inward. There are cosmoses in your consciousness you have yet to venture into that are more beauty than any artwork, more mystery than your favorite thriller, more magnificence than all earthly creations. However, the passport required to reach these vistas is stillness. Through withdrawing from external stimulus, you can move into the true stimulus, the world inside and beyond you. So yeah, I feel like you've let go and you're studying yourself in all the ways you can be. It's kind of like for those of you who never thought you would be something, you're making it a point to become that very thing just to see how it feels. I love this experimental energy. Pile 1. And if you don't feel like this is resonating with you, I feel like this could be something that you do in the future, because let me tell you, I'm 34 right now. How I was at 24, I would have never in a million years thought that I would be the person I am now, or do the things that I've done, or just all these little things and situations that I find myself in. It's like past me would be either so shocked, so surprised, or so proud, or maybe even disappointed. I don't know. Past me would never have guessed that I would have done the things that I do now. And it's both liberating and kind of scary, but it's like, this is the human experience. I feel like for a lot of you, part of your beauty is understanding the human experience to its fullest extent, especially those of you who have let something go, especially those of you who have been through something like a divorce or who have cut off like a long-term relationship. A lot of you, you're seeking to find yourself because you know you're in a space right now where you can, as to where previously you couldn't. But this is beautiful energy. Let's go ahead and move on to the tarot to get more insight from Aphrodite. And let me tell you, I never thought this would be the kind of energy that I channel from her. That said, Aphrodite is actually not one of my closest goddesses, but I've been called to do this reading for a little bit right now. I wanted to do something love-themed, but not, not another relationship reading. I feel like there's going to be enough of those. And I am offering personalized relationship readings for those of you who like. Just email me and I'll let you know about it. Or you can subscribe, and I think it's on my posts. But let's go ahead and see. Channel messages from the Love Goddess. So let's start with your romantic relationships. Regardless of whether you are in one right now or not, regardless of what your status is, we're just going to see what's going on here. This is also meant to be a timeless reading, by the way. Even though it is Valentine's themed, I want it to be a timeless reading. So we have the Anchor, Emperor energy. We have the High Sage. This is the High Priestess. Interesting. So you're very intuitive when it comes to especially if you're into men, when it comes to your male counterparts or when it comes to masculine energy, you pick up on that very quickly. I don't know if you grew up with, like, for example, a lot of brothers, a lot of men, or maybe you were very close with your dad, but I feel like you're very intuitive when it comes to men's needs, if you are into men, or masculine needs. Definitely with your partner. I'm putting you in Empress energy. I'm putting you in feminine energy for this reading, pile 1, regardless of your gender here, just because, you know, I like to do that to my readers. A majority of you are women, but I know some of you are also men. We're just putting in feminine energy temporarily. But I feel like when it comes to, like, your partner's needs, your counterpart's needs, you're very intuitive. And your partners love this about you, past, present, and future. We have the 4 of Wands. But I feel like a lot of you feel stifled by relationships, because the 4 of Wands, it's either like they don't commit and you have to let them go, or you feel a little stifled, like they want to tie you down. You really fear commitment, pile 1. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you have a fear of commitment. I don't know how small or big that is, but I feel like that is something that you may need to work on if you ever want to. We have the Wheel of Fortune. Life has brought you all sorts of very interesting situations in relationships. I feel like a lot of your relationships, for better or worse, have been fated. They've been very fated. And I think you'll know this because there's just no way you could have done certain things if certain people hadn't come into your life. We also have the 2 of Wands. You always know you have an option in relationships, because what I'm seeing is like the universe bringing you fated people, and you know that you have a choice no matter what, because even though something is fated, it doesn't mean that you have to take it up. Like, it doesn't mean that you have to say yes to it. The universe could bring you a soulmate, but if that soulmate isn't working out for you, or you know you're not ready, or whatever the case may be, you know you have the option to say no. And maybe some of you have done this in the past or something along those lines. And it's either liberated or broken you, or liberated and broken them. And I feel like some of you have some regrets about people in the past. I'm not going to lie, because I feel like you've broken more hearts than they've broken yours. Or if you're not aware of this, I think the Love Goddess here is letting you know that you have broken more hearts than they've broken you. But whenever you have had your heart broken, I feel like it's been very deep. It's interesting that these candles are getting very low right now. So maybe there could be some shame and guilt here that you may need to release regarding that situation. Back of the deck is the 3 of Wands, letting me know that maybe some of you have been in third-party situations, whether it was of somebody else's making or your own. And again, the guilt is coming through here, and there's no shame. Well, let me not put it that way. I feel like people don't understand certain circumstances, or maybe you yourself didn't understand yourself well enough, and this is why this happened. But the most important thing here is to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself first, and then forgive others, either for allowing it to happen or for for blinding yourself to it. I feel like some of you knew what was going on and you didn't want to accept it for whatever reason. Yeah, the world. But I feel like this is a lot of that is behind you, and you know better now. Let's go ahead and see what, and that actually rolls perfectly into the self-love portion. What does the Love Goddess have to tell you when it comes to self-love? I keep hearing forgive yourself, because you have a lot of shame and guilt right now. We have the Ace of Wands. Don't be afraid to start anew. Don't be afraid to take on something new, a new identity, even within a relationship, because your person, if they're really meant for you, they're going to love every aspect of you, even when you change. And I feel like that's the biggest thing. I feel like one big fear people have in relationships is how much people can change within a relationship. And I feel like for you, your biggest thing is that you want a partner that you can grow and evolve with. And I think that's one of the more difficult things to look for. You have the Nine of Wands. You've had the need to defend yourself so much to the point where you feel like you're not worthy. It's like people have brought so much. They may have criticized you for a lot of things that you do or like, or that you've done, that you have like a built up backlog of guilt and shame. And you just, it makes you feel weird. It makes you feel like you're not worthy of anything or worthy of something good. Even when it was well-intentioned, even when somebody was bringing to you, even when people were letting you know that something that you were doing was wrong, and you yourself acknowledged, okay, yeah, actually that is kind of wrong, you still internalized it to the point where it's like it became a blockage within yourself, is what I'm seeing. We have death reversed. I feel like you fear transformation every now and then, but it's like you can't help it. You're meant to change. I feel like you're somebody who doesn't like to end things. So therefore, you kind of leave loose ends. But I feel like that's come back to bite you because, well, interestingly, there's like 2 snakes right there. Or the skeleton of 2 snakes. Do snakes have skeletons? I don't know, but like the skeleton and 2 snakes, but the fact that it's reversed, you're not great at ending things and you would rather leave loose ends. And I feel like certain people have not really liked you for this because that's where they accuse you of cheating or something along those lines. So one way to love yourself is to make sure you set clear boundaries with people. If not for you, then at least for them. Like you may not need the closure, but other people may. We also have the sun. Yeah. I feel like right now a lot of you are going through some low self-confidence or some self-esteem issues, especially if in the past you didn't. Right now you're just out of sorts because I'm feeling it in the solar plexus right now rather strongly. We also have the 10 of Pentacles, and for some of you, you're wanting stability more than anything. This could be more financial. This could also just be like a home. This could be somebody. Maybe some of you have relied on people a lot to bring you stability, when the truth is you need to be your own sense of stability. And I feel like you will get there eventually. You will get there eventually. Back of the deck, yeah, Ace of Cups. There is a new love or a new way of loving coming here. It starts with the Ace of Wands and ends with the Ace of Cups. There's new beginnings, also opportunities here. And for some of you, it could come in the form of something casual or something more physical, but it ends up being something a lot more strong here, which is very interesting. And then let's go ahead and move on to beauty. Both inner and outer beauty, of course. For my pile 1, we have the Queen of Cups. A lot of you feel that you have a... I don't mean to laugh, but maybe people have accused you of having a bad attitude, or maybe like being beautiful on the outside, but on the inside you feel that like you don't have a great personality or that you're not nurturing enough. Maybe you feel that you've cut off all your emotions and therefore you're not nurturing enough. And you start by being nurturing to yourself. Maybe some of you could benefit from like having a journal where you express your emotions or how you're feeling. Because I feel like one thing that is making you feel quote, quote, ugly, because I don't think you are, but I feel like you feel that you are because of how people have told you that you handle things. But one way to combat this is to keep a journal and remind yourself of all the beautiful things that you do every single day that attribute to your internal beauty. I feel like a lot of you, you care more about your internal beauty right now than you do your external, or it's come to the forefront. We have the Queen of Wands as well. Oh, well, maybe both, because the Queen of Wands reversed. It's kind of like you feel that everything... What is going on with pile 1? I want to give you such a big hug. Because you feel ugly on the inside and ugly on the outside. And I don't know who has made you feel this way. But I'm here to remind you that you are beauty. Not only that, but you are also an embodiment of love. Let's get more cards. You have the Four of Pentacles. You're holding on to something. And I don't know how... Some of you, you could be like... Okay, I think I understand that. Some of you could be aging and you feel like you're trying to hold on to your youth, or you're trying to hold on to your looks, or maybe you're holding on to an old style that actually doesn't suit you anymore either. I see that a lot. You know how some people like, and I'm not saying about a classical style either. This is more like a style that has worked for you for a long time, but it's time for something new. You see this a lot with people in certain haircuts. Like, I know my haircut is like... I don't know. I love the side bangs. I love the side part. That's just what looks best on me, but it could be time for something new. That's just an example I'm being shown. So I don't know. I've tried short hair and I don't like short hair. But for a lot of you, I feel like you're trying to hold on to some sort of pattern from your past, specifically beauty. Like maybe it's time for an update. And I feel like you will find it, or you could reinvent it in a way that is a little bit more modern. Let's go ahead and get more cards. We have the King of Pentacles. You're spending a lot more money on beauty as well. I feel like you're spending a lot more money on either your clothes, on beauty regimens, or like maybe skincare. Maybe some of you are doing cosmetic work as well, depending on the situation. But you're spending a lot more money on beauty, that's for sure. Six of Swords. I do feel, ooh, and the lovers. Okay, so a lot of you, your physical beauty, especially if you're single right now, you care a lot about it because you're wanting to attract a new partner or you're wanting to attract something new. I feel like you're going to move somewhere and this is actually going to inspire you to start looking different with the Six of Swords here. Let me make sure that, okay, they're not all in the shop, but just trust me with what I'm saying, like they're down here. But, okay. So I feel like for a lot of you, you're kind of not feeling great, but I see a lot of you moving on to something new. Either you're moving from like one city to another, or you could travel somewhere that is going to inspire you to start dressing or looking a different way. Or you could go somewhere, you could like visit somewhere where whatever you look like is a beauty that is appreciated, you know? I get this from, for example, I live in the US and a lot of Black women from the US, when they go to Africa, they feel like a renewed interest or a new, how do I put this? They feel a different type of beauty because their beauty is accepted a lot more over there than it is by, you know, very superficial standards in the US. So I feel something similar here to that. Like I'm Latina and I know my beauty is considered very different here than it is elsewhere. It's that kind of energy. Like whatever you look like, it's probably appreciated more somewhere where you will go than where you currently are. Whether that's going to a place that has more of what you look like or going to somewhere that doesn't have somebody of what you look like. I feel like it's a perspective that you haven't really noticed. So maybe right now you're like doing everything to keep yourself beautiful and like doing all these things, spending extra on clothes, skincare, or whatever the case may be. But the truth is, you're going to go somewhere where like people are going to absolutely find you so beautiful. And I feel like for a lot of you, you may actually attract a partner if you're looking for that, or even like a friendship circle, or like a friendship circle, a friend group, or a or admirers, like admirers in general, which is so interesting. It's kind of like you didn't recognize the beauty you had until you went somewhere different, and you're realizing, wow, I always thought it was ugly, but truth was I was just surrounded by ugly people who couldn't appreciate my beauty. That's what I'm getting for you, Pile 1. So you're very beautiful. You just might be surrounded by people who make you feel ugly. And that's fair. And that's just that's just reflecting to you their own ugliness. So, with that said, let's move on to some closing advice. Some closing messages from the Love Goddess. For my pile 1. Okay, pile 1. We're going to get a card from the Lover's Oracle. We have this one. Embrace. Through each other you find the missing pieces. I feel like you have been a lot of people's missing piece. Both P-I-E-C-E and P-E-A-C-E. Like you are a piece to people. I feel like people adore it when you hold them or when you just are embracing them. There's something about your energy that even though you may feel a certain way, you're actually very nurturing or very calming to people. Is what I'm getting. This entire reading has had like a whole different feel to it, by the way, because I was not called, I would never have chosen to do this reading, but like I feel like a lot of you needed to hear this. And then let's get one from here. This is the Guardian Angel deck. And of course you don't have to believe in angels, we're just listening to the messages. We have Rainbow. You are a jewel, even though you may not see it. Even in the darkest times, you shine eternally bright. You are surrounded by an aura of love, and a pot of gold awaits you beyond the horizon. All will clear soon. Trust and continue to follow your dreams. You are eternally blessed. So for a lot of you, there's beautiful things coming up. The rainbow can symbolize hope. It can symbolize peace. It can symbolize happiness. And of course, if you're part of the LGBTQ community, it could also be a sign for you that things will be okay. And then the last cards are going to be channeled messages. This is a romance oracle, but this could be from either like lovers, past, present, future, or people who just admire you in general. Beautiful love messages that need to come through. We have, I think you are out of my league. Yeah, a lot of people think you are out of their league because there's just something so different about you. I effed it up. Okay, so past lovers definitely believe and understand that they effed it up. with you, because you're hard to keep in general because you value your independence. We also have you drive me crazy. Yeah, I can see how you can drive people crazy just by you being you. I don't think you go out of your way to do this. This is just how you are. Like, they love you, but it's like they wish they could just pin you down, but you're not meant to be pinned down, pile one. I've been up all night thinking about you, so you definitely make people obsessed. I feel stuck. It wouldn't surprise me if, like, in relationships you sometimes feel stuck, or like you attract people who can feel stuck. And the last one, reach out to me, please. People wish that you would just talk to them. People wish that, like, you would be in their life. Okay, I'm gonna get one more. I'm being asked to get one more. Okay, 2 more came up. I want more than what we have. Wow, you are beautiful. Yes, you're very beautiful, and people definitely wish that they had more with you. But I feel like you know exactly what you want, and you're not for everybody, or not everybody is for you. But yeah, beautiful energy here. Pile 1, thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe. I am sending you so much love, and I'll see you around. Take care. Hello there, pile 2. If you chose Aphrodite from the Dark Goddess deck with romance here, then we have your reading here for you about, or from Aphrodite, messages from the goddess Aphrodite. I'm wondering if some of you are bilingual, because I'm getting very strong messages in Spanish here. Like, I'm getting a lot of Mon Laferte songs. So this could be my pile of broken hearts, or people who have had their heart broken just a few too many times. But there's definitely like a love energy. Like, this is definitely lover boy, lover girl energy. So I feel like you came here for some clarity on romance for sure. And we'll go into that in the tarot more specifically. But let's go ahead and get your oracles to see what other messages the love goddess has to bring in for you. I'm going to get more cards from that deck, actually, for any companion goddesses that want to come through. Specifically, the song I'm channeling, it's not by Mon Laferte, it's by Daniel Me Estás Matando, but she's featured in it. It's called Hoy No, which means not today, but it's basically about wanting your life back after being so brokenhearted by somebody who's shown you their ugly side. Maybe you've had to deal with a lot of this. Maybe you're currently dealing with this, and this is why you're called to this pile. But there's a brokenhearted energy here, because right before I even, I was at the bookstore earlier, and there's this book of poems called Poems for the Tortured Soul. So maybe some of you like indulging in this brokenhearted energy, because you know that's one good way to like purge it or to process it, like romanticizing the pain, essentially. We also have, yeah, Tlatzotteotl, purification. She is a goddess of all things STIs, but also diseases and fertility, anything to do with that region. So maybe some of you, you've been, you're trying to purge somebody from your sacral energy. Let's just put it that way, from your sacral area, because I feel like for a lot of you, you've kind of, even if you let go of somebody emotionally, physically, etc., I feel like their energy is still within you. Especially when you become intimate with people, you kind of tap into another dimension. A lot of you, you do, how would you call it? Tantric? You do tantric energy whenever you get intimate with somebody, whether you realize this or not. Or you've been around people who do that naturally, and maybe you're not aware of this. But there is something here about purifying yourself from past love and the hurt of love as well, because it's not something you're meant to bring into the new eras of your love, into the new eras of your romance. Let's go ahead and get more cards for you. What messages from the love goddesses do we have coming through? We have Niyamas. Oh, by the way, Tlatzotteotl is also a... Is she Aztec? She's from the region where my family is from. She's from Mexico. I might read for her. So yeah, again, maybe some of you really are Latin American or speak Spanish. I need to read for her now, because something about your roots is coming through. It's my roots, so at the very least, let's explore this together, pile 3. If you have any sort of cultural baggage regarding love and relationships, I feel like that's something that you may need to overcome as well. Because I know in certain cultures, in certain communities, it's kind of more commonplace for things like infidelity, or to have multiple partners, or for romance to be a certain way. Those are just examples. That doesn't have to be the case. But some of you kind of have to outgrow or leave behind and purge like whatever your whatever your culture's standards for romance and maybe even marriage, etc. may be. Yeah, we have purification. She is the Aztec goddess of filth, sensuality, fertility, and lust, a complex goddess who both inspires desire and is the source of absolution for those sins. Those close to death may confess their wrongdoings to one of her priests, so Tlazotl can cleanse them, but this ritual may only be performed once in a prince's life. Interesting. Yeah, it's all about purity. Once you purify yourself from some of these energies that have been around you, it's time to like embrace something new. I will also read from Niyamas. And back of the deck for this, Ajna, sorry. This is the third eye. Yeah, for a lot of you, your love is very psychic. Your love is very spiritual, whether you want it to be or not. I feel like you can't help but be this way. So when you get intimate with people, and I do this as well, this is why I'm able to describe it, you become very, very psychic about them. When you become intimate with people, it's kind of like you literally merge, and you may even feel what they're feeling, think what they're thinking. It's a little bit annoying sometimes, I guess, because it's like maybe you don't want to take on all their baggage. Maybe you don't want to feel everything that they're feeling. But this is kind of like, especially with Tlazotl here, it's like a warning to not just give yourself to anybody so easily or so readily, because you never know what kind of energetic baggage you may be picking up from them. Like on a more practical, maybe even medical level, and of course I'm not a medical professional, I'm just going based off what people have told me and what I've experienced myself. If you find yourself getting more infections when you're intimate with somebody, so a specific person, that's your body's way of telling you that that person is not for you. Or any kind of physical reaction. It could be like maybe you're getting more rashes when you happen to be with somebody, or maybe you just get like, I don't know, like it just feels weird. I feel like a lot of you may not even be listening to your body when it comes to certain people that you decide to interact with. Let's go ahead and read from the book for Niyamas. So, Laws of Personal Observance. You are beginning to reap the rewards of inner transformational work you have done. This is just the beginning of a lifelong practice of personal observance. Tune into what your soul needs at this time. Are there toxins in your body and mind that need purity? Again, just hitting that home. It's like you're observing yourself. You're being aware of your body, your soul, everything here. You're very psychic and intuitive, not just about yourself, but the partners around you. So don't be afraid to like open up that third eye when it comes to potential suitors, because I do feel like the majority of you are single or not committed. I'm getting that very strongly in this pile. So don't be afraid to like tap into your body, soul, to see what it is telling you about somebody. Ojas as well, or Ojas. I keep wanting to pronounce some of these words in the Spanish way. But let's go ahead and get more cards for you. Pile 2. If you do happen to be in a relationship and it's not like an open one, I suggest you go to another pile. This is definitely for my singles. I don't know why that's coming through. I haven't done a singles reading on my channel yet, so I might be called to do that. Confirmation if you heard that loud truck, but let's go ahead and get more cards for you. We have liminal. I'll read from the book for this, but look at that. It's beautiful. And this is kind of like the in-between stages of something. This is like things in motion, things in movement. Back of the deck. Oh, what is this? Amplify. Your energy is gonna, and I was telling myself this earlier, for those of you who haven't attracted somebody, I feel like it's not so much your looks or even what you can provide and offer for somebody. It's energy that people are attracted to first and foremost. I'm having a hard time saying that because that's a truth that maybe some of you need to accept and or have a hard time hearing. But what people are attracted to the most is energy. And I feel like for a lot of you, if you just expand your energy out to draw in people who are good for you, who you know will be at the very least beneficial to you in a positive way in a relationship, even friendships, even business, whatever the case may be, I feel like you will call them in. And I feel like I needed to say that because for some of you, you like to kind of mix business and pleasure together, or maybe you're the kind of person who only finds people to date in the workplace, which, you know, I've been there as well. Especially for those of you who work a lot or who have like a profession where it's kind of hard to meet people. But let's go ahead and read for liminal before I before I continue with the rest of your reading. Okay, so we have the in-between is like trying to catch smoke. We may be seeking, stretching for something to grasp onto, but nothing is solid. The harder we claw, the more bitter we grow. So maybe some of you have some sort of bitterness here as well, which again, I understand. Back in my youth, I definitely had that. The truth is that nothing will find us until we are ready for it. A baby doesn't attempt to breathe in the womb. So we too must be patient until the time is right. And you will feel it, rather than feeling like you're pushing a boulder up a hill. It will feel easy. The torturous part of the liminal is feeling like nothing is happening, a draught of inspiration. But what if there's an orchestra playing that you can't hear? You may feel like you're stuck in a maze running into dead end after dead end, but the universe is piecing things together while you find your way out. In these moments, we must drop the rope we're trying to climb out with. Let yourself live in that moment between the in-breath and the out-breath. Yeah. And there's a song that this recommends as well, You and I by Saint Weekend remix, for those of you who want to check that out. But yeah, I feel like a lot of you, especially if you're dating, it's like you keep just finding dead end after dead end. And you're trying, maybe some of you are trying a little bit too hard. Maybe some of you are just focusing a little bit too much on romance, and there's no shame in that. I feel like all of us at some point kind of get caught up in it. And I feel like the love goddess is coming through to let you know it's okay to let go and to just forget about this for a moment and focus on you. So when we get into the tarot, we're going to focus more on the self-love and beauty aspects as opposed to the relationship, because I feel like all we've been talking about so far is the relationship. Let's go ahead and get more cards for you, my beautiful pile 2. Also, it was a little dark whenever I started your reading. I'm not sure if you can tell by the light on the camera because I use natural lighting. But it's getting brighter and brighter. So those of you going through a dark phase, especially in romance or even in your self-love journey, things will get better. We have growth, spiral. Yeah, you're growing right now. You are growing within your heart space. You're also growing your intuition. We have, oh, 2 more. Omniscience, Eye of Horus, just hitting home that third eye. A lot of you, you're very psychic and you're not aware of it. Or even if you are aware of it, maybe some of you. And this comes through sometimes when you're born with a gift. We are all born with a gift to some extent. But maybe you've strengthened your gift and now you're kind of regretting it because it's like, well, now that I know this, I kind of wish I was a little bit more naive or dumb or blind to the things, because knowing so much can be painful. It can be hurtful, you know? It's like you find out things about somebody and you wish you didn't know that, because now you have to view them in a way that you wish you hadn't. And maybe for some of you, this is your love life, you know? Maybe you've learned certain things about your partners, past partners, potential partners that you wish you hadn't known, because it's like, geez, if I was just a little bit more ignorant, maybe I'd be more happy. There's kind of a feeling here that some of you believe that ignorance is bliss, but I'm here to tell you, no, it's better to know the truth than to sit in ignorance, you know? So omniscience, don't be afraid of your omniscience. Don't be afraid of your third eye. Don't be afraid of the truth. We also have Ouroboros cycles here. Number 12. This pile has a really great playlist, by the way, because now I'm hearing Post Malone's Circles. To me, that song signified anytime I ended a relationship, I would hear that song on the radio or just play whenever. It was the weirdest thing because it was never my favorite song, but the song goes, run away because we can't let go. Or run away because we're running. Seasons changed, but our love went cold. I would just look up the song. Maybe I'll link it or something, but I'm not wanting to remember it because it's a painful... For me, it's a painful song because it just happens to show up whenever a cycle has ended, specifically a romantic cycle. And for a lot of you, I feel like you're done repeating the cycles. I do feel like there's going to be some growth for you, or you will have an opportunity for growth. It's like you're coming up at a light or at a stop sign, at a fork in the road, and you're going to make a choice here. And one of them will repeat the cycle, and the other one will be to start something new. And some of you may want to know which one is which, and I think you will know. If a person from the past comes back, you're very much going to repeat the cycle. But if you choose something new, it's going to be something new. Because I feel like for a lot of you, you've given people multiple chances, or you've forgiven a lot, or you've even blamed yourself for how certain things have gone. You know, I'm just hearing to not let yourself be gaslit by yourself, pile 2, or by another individual, whatever the case may be. Let's get a few more cards before we go on to the tarot portion. For my beautiful pile twos. And I do send you a lot of love because I know sometimes heartbreak feels like it can feel like a way of life sometimes. It could feel like a whole identity, and it's not meant to be. We're not meant to be in that for a long time. I'm hearing some Amy Winehouse now. That was my thing when I was in that energy. I would listen to so much Amy Winehouse. She's so talented, but it's not music that I can listen to every day because it's just, it's sad. We have the desert. Yeah, I feel like you feel like this person here in the desert. There's also a lot of like numbers coming through, like 34, and this is 37. So maybe some of you are in your 30s and you're wondering, especially if you haven't had kids or haven't been married, maybe some of you have like this biological clock thing going on. And the venom, yeah, just letting me know again, you're purging. You are purging so much, and it's beautiful that you are letting this go. You're letting go of the venom. You're nourishing yourself after having been in the desert. I do feel like there's an oasis here coming through for you, and the love goddess is here to guide you through all of it. There's something here about not being afraid. Because some of you may want something, but there's like a fear that you may be hurt again, a fear that you're wasting time. But time will make itself for you. Time is not something to fear. Nor is growth. Because the thing about repeating cycles, you get better and better at it every time. It's like if you play a video game, you keep playing the same area or you keep battling the same thing, you learn something new every time. And sometimes it's just a matter of letting it go for a moment and like, you know, clearing up your mind and then coming back with a fresh perspective, and then you beat that. That's what I'm seeing for some of you. But let's go ahead and move on to the tarot. I wish I had bought that book of poems because now I kind of want to like thumb through it and give you a poem from that. If any of you are into poetry or would like that, let me know. I kind of want to bring that into my readings, but I don't know if everybody's into poetry. I love poetry. I didn't major in it, but I studied it a lot in college. So for my pile 2. So the first section, we're going to talk about relationships and anything else that needs to come through. I feel like we've talked about that to some extent. So now I'm just going to ask advice to see how you can overcome certain blockages in your love life. So for my pile 2, this is very different energy from the first pile. Though I guess you could also be from the first pile. I feel like first pile was just explaining to yourself who you are. Here we're dealing with a very specific energy. We have the sun. Oh. Like I said, you radiate so much beautiful energy, pile 2. I feel like this is what people are attracted to. They love your light. They love your energy. We have the moon reversed, but you're also nobody's fool. You are so deep. We have the sun and the moon here. The moon is reversed, and the moon upright would be secrets. Reversed, it's like you're very used to moon energy. You're very used to that yin, the feminine, the dark here. So not only do you radiate this beautiful confidence, this beautiful energy of somebody, you know how to take care of yourself, you know how to handle yourself, you're rather independent. But when it comes to the subconscious, I think people are so surprised when you're so intuitive and perceptive. Like you read people very well, and I feel like this both attracts and repels people, so that's not surprising. I feel like some of your deepest loves have actually been some of the most tortured people, believe it or not, and I think that's because you empathize with that darkness within them. And I feel like this is where your own undoing comes. It's like you give the most empathy to the most hurt people. But if they're going to keep hurting you, there's no point in keeping them around until they are ready to heal themselves, because we cannot heal people. We can show them the ways. We can lead them to the water, but they have to drink it themselves here. We have the 3 of Pentacles. Interesting. Queen of Pentacles as well. I'm being told not to take reversals. I don't think I'm going to read reversals for this one. You have a very nurturing presence. Even though you're very, like, there's a very psychic energy to you for sure, pile 2. It's also your body that is very psychic. Like, I feel like you will feel, you could be clairsentient, where you feel things before they happen, or even your lovemaking, even though like on the surface level, it might just be, you know, simple. Like, when you get deeper with it, when you get emotional with it, it's just something on a next level. And the kind of people you attract are people who want your grounding energy. Because with the Three of Coins here, I feel like there's three people that are still either attached to you, or you could have like three potential suitors right now, or maybe there's just three people on your mind. So this is just like a warning from the universe, not a warning, or like a heads up from the universe letting you know to detach these three people. We also have the Queen, oh sorry, the Knight of Cups. You may attract younger people. Again, because you're very sure of yourself. Earth energy always feels more mature to begin with. To me, it's Earth and what's it called? Air. Those two seem more mature to me. The other ones are more youthful, water and fire. So you might attract people who are either less experienced, younger, a little bit less mature. I feel like you get a lot of suitors, but they may not have much to offer, or even if they do, they may not want to share it in a way that is fair with you. Let's get one more card. Two of Swords. And right now, I feel like the universe is letting you know to just let go of this. Like, let go of the romance situation, because I feel like you're in a space where you're either still healing or you're still carrying certain baggage that could potentially affect your relationships going forward, or whoever is wanting to come through. Two of Swords reversed. It's like you'll be ready when you're ready, or whoever wants to be in your life will make it a point to seek you out. It's like, don't text first, let them text, essentially, which I don't care for that mentality. I don't believe in who texts who first. Like, I have Venus in Aries. I make the first move every single time, and I would feel weird if I didn't. But regardless, I feel like you just kind of need to let things go right now and see who shows up for you. One way to overcome this is to seek out third-party opinions with Three of Coins. And I feel like coming to these readings is actually helping you out a lot, because every tarot reader, every reading is going to give you a different perspective regarding the people in your life, the potential partners, etc., whatever it is that you need to do. But for a lot of you, I feel like you need to stop giving so much, because the Queen of Pentacles can be somebody who is very generous. But unfortunately, I feel like you've given far too much to potential suitors. It's definitely one of those, don't give too much in the beginning. Let them work for it. Let them come through. You are a queen after all here in this energy pile too. Let them come to you. So let's go ahead and move on to the self-love. The self-love. What about yourself are you needing to see or hear about right now? Justice. You feel like life has been unfair to you. Either you've had some sort of disadvantage, or you feel like everybody else has it easier in love and you don't. And this actually affects the way you see yourself. For example, let's say you don't look like a conventional beautiful person or a conventionally attractive person. And there's nothing you can really change about that. It doesn't matter what it is. And I'm talking specifically something you can't change easily. It's not like, if somebody likes blondes, you could easily dye your hair blonde and boom, that problem is solved. I'm not talking about stuff like that. I'm talking about things like maybe being born with something that you can't change easily, whether it's height, skin color, the size of a body part, whatever the case may be. It's like you feel that life has been unfair. It could also be I don't know, just something about either your appearance or like an advantage or disadvantage that you've had when it comes to attracting people. And this makes you kind of dislike yourself as well. You just feel like life has not been fair. Let's get more cards for your self-love. We have the Ten of Wands. Burdens. Again, you take on far too much. You are so hard on yourself, pile 2. I feel like giving you such a big hug, because you don't deserve to give yourself all this criticism that you do. Like, I don't feel like it's helping you or anybody else. I feel like it would help to just, well, one, detach from yourself first and foremost. I know that sounds odd, but when I was going through my first spiritual awakening, the bigger one, somebody told me that I had kind of made a dark persona of myself that kind of just did nothing but hate on myself. So maybe some of you are going through this, or you have something. And I'm not talking about the shadow self. I'm talking literally a version of myself that did nothing but put myself down and keep myself in a low vibrational energy. Because for whatever reason, I wanted to embody something edgy or dark or whatever the case may be. And I feel like some of you might have something similar here. So I feel like you are far too hard on yourself. And I think you work, like you actually put some effort into being hard on yourself. I think it's time to let this persona of yours go. I think it's time to let this go because you're not meant to be in this. And that doesn't mean you're going to be any less edgy. That doesn't mean you're going to be any less cool or any less grounded or realistic about yourself. It just means that it's time to stop hating on yourself so much. Let's get more cards. We have the Two of Wands, the Eight of Cups. A lot of you are very emotionally detached from yourselves. Eight of Coins. And the King of Pentacles. Somebody, I don't know who this King of Pentacles person is. It could be like, it could be a parental figure. It could be an authority figure who's made you feel less or made you feel that you have to give far too much in a relationship, or like you have to keep giving and you not receive anything. And I see this a lot with certain with narcissistic parents who just take and take from their kids, or even if it's not a parent, it could even be like a sibling, a friend. Somewhere in your life, you felt that you needed to give a lot more than receive in order to be loved. And I'm here to tell you that's not the truth. And I feel like that's part of the reason why you're so detached from yourself. It's like, you know, you can't give yourself enough, so you would rather just check out emotionally. You would rather just check out because there's a little bit of detachment, but also disassociation with the person that you are. And I feel like when it comes to self-love, this is the part you need to focus on the most, because right now I feel a very deep pit in my heart space. So I recommend that, and you could go about this several ways. Start with like a heart chakra activation video. There's plenty of those here on YouTube, or heart chakra frequencies as you do certain things. Carry rose quartz around with you, which might be difficult because I know I used to hate it, but once I started tapping into my energy, like once I started bringing in light to the heart space, I started loving it and I started embracing it. In fact, I'm even wearing it right now, and I don't always wear bracelets on these readings, so that's very interesting. Pile 2, I feel like there has to be a big journey on your self-love, a big self-love journey, like a big journey toward your self-love. And I feel like right now you're meant to let go of a lot of romance or potential suitors or whatever the case may be, because you're kind of going through the biggest heartbreak with yourself. I feel like you blame yourself for a lot of the things that have happened in your relationships. And that's not fair, because it takes two to make a relationship work. So you can only take up to 50%. You know, you can only take up to 50% of a relationship problem issue here. Doesn't matter what it is that you've done. Doesn't matter what it is that the other person has done. I wouldn't take more than 50%, and that's fair. You did your part, but whatever anyone has done to you, you didn't deserve it. Whatever you have given to somebody that wasn't enough, that's on them. That's on them for not seeing your worth. But I feel like a lot of you need a lot of love right now, and I am sending it to you right now, because you're very detached and you kind of just don't want to have anything to do with anybody right now. And that's fair. But whoever this person is who made you believe that you were not worthy, it's time to let them go as well. Because I don't, this is an authority figure. It could even be a boss. It could even be in the workspace. Like they're just taking and taking from you. Maybe you currently have somebody who is this way, that you just keep giving to them and they don't care, or they keep asking for something and they don't give you anything in return. This energy is very narcissistic. I'm not going to lie. I don't care for it, but they're currently still in your energetic or auric field. So I would definitely let this go. This is the person you need to purge yourself from. And then let's move on to beauty, physical appearance. I probably should have done an 18+ section for this, but I don't have a way to do that yet. So if any of you are interested in like an 18+ reading, messages from Love Goddess, messages from Aphrodite, do email me and I can do something for you. Not sure how much I will charge yet, so if you reach out, I might give you like a nice little discount, because I feel like this pile especially needs a lot of extra guidance. So for my pile 2, in beauty, we have the King of Swords, Judgment. You attract a lot of people who are very intelligent, which is both a good and a bad thing. I feel like you attract people like if you yourself also consider yourself very intellectual, you could attract people on the same level, so you meet each other at the mind. However, if you don't consider yourself very intellectual, this could attract people who are rather manipulative. Because with Judgment here, I feel like, interesting, let's get more cards. Four of Coins, Eight of Swords, yeah. A lot of you, you're very beautiful and you don't want to see it. Yeah, and here we have the High Priestess again. Like, you're very beautiful, but you don't see it. I feel like you think people are only attracted to your brains and not your beauty, but I feel like you're actually both. Or you feel like you can only attract people by, like, yeah, the Empress energy. This is so interesting. It's like, you definitely attract people more with your energy than your looks, but your looks are still very much there. You somehow think that your looks are secondary, when the truth is, I think you attract people who are also very much into your looks, but you want to discredit it. It's like, oh, well, there's no way they can be into me for my looks. I don't look like a conventional beauty. I don't look like this person. I don't hit the gym, whatever. Like, whatever it is that you have or don't have, you don't feel like that's what attracts people. You feel like you have to show your wit, your intellect, in some cases your money. With Judgment here, you definitely have a great sense of judgment, and you definitely are somebody that no one can really like take for a fool. And yet I don't think you understand, people are very attracted to that. It's like, and I remember, like, I've had guy friends tell me this a lot, like, if there's a choice between a girl who is easy and a girl who is smart and still beautiful, they're going to choose the easy one if they're not ready to settle down. Like, obviously, they're not going to go for the one who is wifey material, but the wifey material is the one who they would want to settle down with. So for some of you, honestly, pile 2, you're actually too good for a lot of these people. You're too good for a lot of these people who just want to play around or don't want anything. I feel like you're not being surrounded enough by quality people who want to settle down. You might just be in the wrong environment. You might just be seeking casual things as well, and then kind of become a little surprised when they don't want anything else to do with you. So I feel like you're really smart about this. You can figure out when somebody's into you, but I feel like there's a disconnect between somebody valuing you and somebody just wanting you for a good time. And I know this had more to, this was meant to be about physical beauty, but which you definitely do have physical beauty, because the High Priestess would be like mysterious beauty. So you definitely don't look conventional, but that doesn't mean you look, and that doesn't mean you're not gorgeous. That doesn't mean that you're not attractive. Like, you don't look like everybody else, but you're still attractive in your own mysterious, unique way. And I think that's better than anything. But you have a hard time seeing that because you don't see yourself through the eyes of everybody else. You don't see yourself through the eye of anybody else. Like, you don't see the angles they see. You don't see the uniqueness in your face, the uniqueness in your body. You don't see how they watch you walk, how you just command the presence in a room. Like, you don't see that. All you see is the mirror, which, you know, whatever you see in the mirror is whatever you see in the mirror, but it's not the whole package, you know? You're not seeing everything about you. But you're very attractive, and I feel like you don't give yourself enough credit. But this goes back to the self-love journey. It's like, it starts within your heart. Of course, you're not going to see the beauty of yourself if you feel like you're not worthy, or if people around you have told you that you're not, you know, that you're not up to certain standards or whatever the case may be. But I feel like you're very gorgeous. And not only that, but you have so much to offer, Pile 2. You're really a catch, and not many people can see that, because a lot of people, like I said, they're just not, they're not great. You could also be surrounded by people who don't want you to see the value of yourself so that you don't go seeking other people. You know, you see this a lot with, like, again, this narcissistic energy that's coming through. I don't know who this is, but I feel like you really need to release it. This person has made you feel ugly so that you wouldn't have to go out and look for somebody else, so that they would keep you stuck to them. It's like, you know, maybe somebody you're saying, oh, well, you're getting old, or, oh, look at that, or, you know, you have too much of an attitude. I don't think anyone would ever put up with that. That's what I'm seeing for some of you. And that first of all, I want to punch that person in the face for telling you that, or for making you feel that way, for making you feel that you're not good enough to go find anybody else, whatever the case may be. I do not care for that energy, because heaven knows you wouldn't do that to anybody. You wouldn't say that to anybody, even if you did think they were ugly. Let's say you did get with somebody who you knew wasn't as attractive as you. You would never tell them to, you know, you would never tell them that. You would never tell them to go hit the gym or something, unless it was for their health or whatever the case may be. So whatever this energy is, I feel like you're surrounded by the wrong people, or you could even be pursuing the wrong people right now. But regardless, you're a gorgeous person, both inside and out, pile 2. So these are the messages that want to come through. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little worked up because whatever these energies or this energy that is coming through making you feel less than, I do not care for it at all. But that's just letting you know that you need to release it. So let's get some closing messages. I'm going to start with the Guardian Angel cards for my pile 2. Okay, you get 2 of them. Of course you do. We have surrender. Remain positive about the future of our planet, for all is part of humanity's evolution. There is a divine order to all the chaos which you perceive in our world. Nothing will ever truly change until we learn to love and accept all as it is. Lovingly surrender your judgments and expectations, and your life will magically transform. Yeah, especially those of you who feel like the dating life is trash right now. I kind of agree, I'm not gonna lie, like I'm going through that too. But this is kind of like the world is going through a transformation. We're all kind of like going through some difficulties in dating because we're all going through something. I mean, Pluto just went into Aquarius. Aquarius is not the most romantic of the signs. So, you know, that's an interesting time. It's an interesting time to be in. We also have rainbow. You are a jewel, even though you may not see it. Even in the darkest times. You shine eternally bright. You are surrounded by an aura of love, and a pot of gold waits beyond the horizon. All will clear soon. Trust and continue to follow your dreams. You are eternally blessed. And the rainbow just in general makes me think of joy and happiness. Think of like the 10 of Cups card where like emotional fulfillment is on the horizon. And I feel like that's what you need to focus on right now. Let's get your Lover's Oracle card. For my pile 2, we have this card. Don't make decisions based on guilt or what you think you should do, for it is only in being true to yourself that you can be true to others. Yeah, don't make decisions based on what you think somebody wants. Don't make decisions based on whatever they may want. Make decisions based on what you want and what you feel is, yeah, follow your truth essentially, especially right now, especially if you want somebody who is also as honest with themselves as they are with you, or vice versa. If you want somebody who is as honest with you as you are with them, follow your own truth. And then we're going to get some cards from this is Alice's Romance Oracle. Just channeled messages either from people, past partners, current admirers, whatever the case may be, or anything else that you need to know. Pile 2, we have, wow, you are beautiful. Yes, just hitting it home how beautiful you are, pile 2. I miss you. Somebody from the past misses you because you have an energy that is hard to find. I heard something about you. So people are definitely talking about you. Not sure what they're saying, but I feel like people like to speak about you because, again, you're so different. I'm getting lost in the memories. Somebody really misses you. I wonder who this is. Past lovers could think about you often. I am confused. Yeah, this could be you or anybody. I feel like there's an energy of confusion in general in this reading. If you let me, I'll take care of you. I feel like this is what you need. Somebody to take care of you because heaven knows you've been taking care of a lot of people. Last card. Don't trust me. Yeah, there's trust issues here for sure, but I feel like you're going to heal them because right now your heart space is a little wounded, a little sore. Back of the deck. I've been trying to distract myself from my feelings, and I feel like this is you because, like I said, there's a little bit of a disassociation, of an emotional distancing here. But I know you will overcome this. I am sending you so much love, pile 2. I'm sending you so much healing as well, and I know that things will get better because you're a lot brighter than you recognize or than you realize. But this is where I leave it. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Hello, pile 3. If you chose Aphrodite self-love, then we have a reading here for you about messages from the goddess Aphrodite, from the goddess of love, anything that needs to come through or anything that you may need to hear right now. So just looking at this card, a lot of you may be getting a lot of attention right now because these two look like either admirers, maybe servants, or maybe like just like dedicated to this beautiful love goddess here. You could also be working a lot on your self-love. Or maybe it's because you are working on your self-love that you're attracting a lot of people. So I do feel like there's, like, whether it's intentional or not, you're just attracting a lot of attention. So let's go ahead and get your cards to see what else is wanting to come through. In the tarot, we're going to go through romance, self-love, and beauty for you. So let's start with these oracles. So we've got primordial, 37, water, and vitality, the sun. Yeah, you're just radiating a lot. I'm getting kundalini energy. You're radiating a lot of vitality, a lot of sensual energy. You're just looking so amazing. And people can't help but like stop and stare or like be entranced by whatever it is that you have to offer visually or even energetically. For a lot of you, it's energetically, though also a lot of you could have gone through some sort of glow up, or maybe there's just something different about you, whether it's the way you carry yourself, whether it's the way you radiate. You could just be looking good in general as well. Let's go ahead and get more cards. But this explains why you have a lot of admirers right now. Even if you're not aware of it, pile 3, because I can already hear some of you is like, who's watching me? I just stay at home all day. I'm sure there's people who are noticing you and what you are, what you're all about. We also have, oh, dark star. Interesting. Dark star. Dark star. And back of the deck. I'm going to read from the book for that. Define. Yeah. I feel like you've gone through a transformation where you know exactly what you are all about and who you are, as well as like the kind of person that you enjoy being, which is interesting. A lot of you could actually be taking ownership of where you, how do I say this? Like you're taking ownership of your own attraction. Maybe you are aware that people are very much into you and you're kind of owning it, essentially. Quite literally, stepping into your Empress energy, stepping into your Queen of Wands energy, where you just take command of a room and you're okay with it. I feel like some of you could actually be enjoying the attention or having a little bit of fun. But even if you're not, I feel like you're still very aware of what your presence is and the effect it has on other people. I'm going to go ahead and read from the book for Dark Star. When there's something burning within you, open your mouth. The world begs us to push things down, to pretend that injustices don't exist, to not ask for more. Authority wants us to feel small and capable, to let ourselves wear down and fade away. We spend a lifetime tucking away our power, handcuffing ourselves to keep the peace. But energy is neither created nor destroyed. Each time we have bent to the will of something seemingly larger than ourselves, we have not given our power away. Because that power lays in wait. It starts lining your spirit, continuing to grow, waiting for the day you will discover it. It is the rage, the excitement, the fury, the how dare you. It is a hurricane, and if they let you have it, they would have to call you by your name, the storm that dared to be. Sorry, there's like weird stuff on this book. But what is more holy than reclaiming the storm, of letting the thunder inside you crack through the sky? You may have to sever the telephone lines and rip up the foundation, but there's a world of color waiting to be seen. The next time it rains, call it by your name. The song that it recommends is Black Sun by Dead Can Dance. So for a lot of you, you have dark femme energy for sure. And I feel like this comes along with this feeling of knowing who you are, what you want, and what it is that you are. Like nobody can take you for a fool. And I think that's part of the presence that you present to people. It's like even without speaking to you, without them having said a word, just looking at you, they know that you're somebody not to be messed with. They know that you're somebody who is to be taken seriously. You have an aura about you that like, it's just so hard to describe. I am getting dark femme, but like a positive kind of dark femme or black cat energy as well. Maybe it's a little bit more aesthetic, but there's something about you. You know yourself. You know what you're made of. You know your worth. And that itself is very attractive to people. So it's kind of like you could be attracting people who just kind of want to line up for you because they know you're worthy and they also want to feel that they are worthy if they catch your attention. Let's go ahead and get more cards though. Pile 3. Very interesting energy. Some of you could also have like a really great body, by the way, just because I keep being called to like how she's wearing, I think out of all the cards that I have in my title card, she has the least amount of clothes. So some of you could just be very, very good looking physically. We have Ahimsa. Interesting. I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to get one more. Diana. Somebody could be named Diana, because that's what that makes me think of. And then I'm going to read these later. I'm going to get the rest of the cards just to have them all out, because I feel like the goddess of beauty here, the goddess of love, is kind of reminding you of your own power. Because Aphrodite, she's kind of known for being a very strong force in the Greek myths, you know? I mean, she rules over love, and love makes a lot of things very interesting. So for some of you, you may not actually be, regardless of whether you are in a relationship or not, I feel like you really like the power of your own beauty and self-love here, or you're tapping into that. We have Ocean, self-love. Again, yeah, I feel like for a lot of you, you really are dealing with self-love. If you came from pile 2, this could just be, again, reminding you to work on that, though I feel like you already are. We also have Ishtar, sensuality. God dang, pile 3. You're baddies. You're absolute baddies. Like, people are just very sensually attracted to you. Back of the deck, we have Circe, manifest. Maybe you manifested this. Maybe you're stepping into an era of your life where you're just kind of doing what you want and reclaiming your sensual power, especially after years of either not having it at all, or just like not feeling confident in it. Like, I absolutely love this energy. Pile 3. And I feel like, especially if you're older and more experienced, you're attracting a lot of people who are seeking that out. Let's get the last of your cards, and then we're going to read from the book for these 2 cards. We have the Maiden. Yeah. Okay, so even if you're older, you may have a maiden-like look to you. So maybe you look younger than your years, or you have like this innocence about you that people like. If you are a little bit on the younger side, again, there's like this knowing your power and really knowing what you look like, and the power that that gives. This is such interesting energy. Let's get one more card. The Heart. Yeah, again with the self-love. I absolutely love this energy pile. Ooh, the Temple, back of the deck. Yeah, your body's a temple, and people love to worship. And every time I get this card, I think of that song by Hosier, Take Me to Church. I can't stand that song, but I understand the significance of that song. You treat your body like a temple for sure, pile 3. Especially those of you who hit the gym. You got a lot of people watching you at the gym because they just like what they see. That's all I'm going to say. But let's go ahead and read for these 2 cards. For Ahimsa, which is nonviolence. You have been observant of how your thoughts affect your actions and how your actions reflect the quality of your life. Through actively changing your internal monologue, you are manifesting a heightened state of consciousness and a new paradigm. Continue to fine-tune your inner language to radiate compassion, joy, and peace. Even the most disciplined yogis still often look in the mirror and think negative thoughts about themselves, get frustrated when stuck in traffic, or speak words to a loved one that don't radiate pure love. These moments are your guru, reminding you of where you still need to grow. Overcoming your triggers facilitates growth. Each time you feel the voice of negativity come through, sing back to it words of ahimsa, compassion. You'll quickly find these words echoed back by all those you encounter. Yeah, I feel like you've kind of learned to be gentle with yourself, and it is showing in that people are reflecting that very same thing back to you. It's like the kinder and nicer you are to yourself, the more people bring this to you. So for a lot of you, this is a big call to start that self-love journey. The way I started it was with a notebook, and I just write things about myself to myself that reminding myself what makes me so lovable, what makes me so beautiful, etc. It's like love letters to myself. And in doing that, you will keep finding ways that you yourself are very, very worthy of love here, pile 3. Or even just saying these things in the mirror, whatever the case may be. I feel like there's something here about you being on your self-love journey and seeing how this is affecting your outer world. When you love yourself, everybody else falls in line and loves you too. I'm not saying that they didn't before, but they may express it a lot more openly or a lot more obviously. Let's go ahead and get the meaning of Diana. So from the book, we have concentration and meditation with the intent to know the truth. When was the last time you fully became immersed in what you were doing? Dhyana is when the dancer becomes the dance, the singer becomes the song, the painter becomes the paint, the lover becomes the love. That's exactly you, pile 3. That's what I'm feeling. You are a lover and you're becoming the love. There is no difference between the doer and the deed. You merge as one. You have pulled the Dhyana card to remind you that now is the time to transition from doing to embodying. Find that which you can merge with and practice it fully. Become the words in your journal, the asana in your practice, the nature with which you surround yourself, and notice your presence expand. I love this energy for you, Pile 3, because I can tell a lot of you have been on a long journey of needing to become the person that you want to be. Whether it's because you want to attract somebody or you just want to live a better life, it doesn't matter. I feel like a lot of you're attracting people because you are becoming that which is attractive. Like, you are the lover becoming the love. You're the sensual person becoming the sensuality, etc. And I feel like people are just falling in love with this energy, because even I have a hard time resisting whatever this is. This feels a lot like a Kundalini awakening as well. And for a lot of you, you really had to stop putting up with a lot of BS is what I'm seeing. Like, you're no longer entertaining people who are making you feel less than, or who are wanting you to settle for whatever crumbs that they have to offer. You're not doing that anymore. You may have said no to somebody who wanted to do, I don't know, like they wanted to only keep you as like some optional side piece, whatever. They didn't want to make you the one, and you were like, no thank you, I deserve better than that. And suddenly the world falls into place for you. It's because like a queen will never become anything less than she is. A king will never become anything less than he is. You know where you are. You're emperor, empress energy, and you're not going to be a page for anybody. Oh, I love this energy so much, Pile 3. I adore and admire you, and you deserve all the love that you're receiving right now. You always have, but like, it's hard to deny. And this is what is coming through. If you're not currently in this energy, or you feel that you are not, this is the goddess Aphrodite letting you know that you can step into this energy. It's all a matter of accepting that which is going to be better for yourself. Do things that you know are good for yourself. As I'm talking, by the way, my throat chakra is kind of like super scratchy and closing up. So for a lot of you, this is kind of hard to hear, or maybe hard to accept, because our throat chakra is the truth. So maybe some of you are also dealing with truths within yourself or with others. But let's go ahead and move on to the tarot portion, where we're going to see romance, self-love, which I feel like this pile, we've already talked about self-love a lot, but you can never have more than enough here. But I really kind of want to know about your relationships, because I feel like for a lot of you, you could either be in a relationship or not, or you could have options. It doesn't matter. I feel like you know what you want and you have it. Because even in something casual, you're not going to be made to feel like an option, oddly enough. I know that sounds weird, but it's like, even those who keep you as something casual, you're going to make it a point to have them treat you with dignity and respect, and, you know, the same level of attention that you give them. It's got to be something reciprocal. I'm not saying that you expect, you know, spouse behavior from somebody who's only casual. It's more like you know you deserve the respect. So pile 3. Let's go ahead and see what the goddess of love has to say about your romance and relationships. We've got the Ace of Pentacles. Oh yeah, you got a lot of great options. Nine of Pentacles, but you're okay on your own as well. You got options, but you're also okay. You could be dating around a little bit, but you're only dating people that you know have something good to offer. Like, you're definitely weeding them out, or you're only keeping really good options around. But you're still good on your own. Like, it's very much something fun and optional for you. We have Seven of Cups. Yep, there's your options. Like, my God, pile 3. If you're not in this energy right now, I would claim it. This is fun. This is very fun energy. We also have the Page of Swords reversed, and you're not dealing with people who only have breadcrumbs. You're not dealing with people who don't have anything better to say than a basic little text that says hello and nothing else. You know, it's like, if they don't have a substantial conversation or anything interesting to offer when it comes to talking, you're not dealing with that. You're not putting up with, I'm even hearing or seeing that some of you don't care for like pickup lines. It's like, what is that supposed to do besides give you a chuckle? You know, you're only accepting people, high quality people, or people of worth here, whatever that may mean to you, because I know it's different for everybody. Okay, let's get more. Nine of Wands. Yeah. And you're protecting your energy here. So yes, you are dating around. Yes, you're having fun with your options. Even if you're not having multiple people, even if you're not entertaining multiple people, you could be entertaining somebody casually, but you make it a point to put yourself first and to let them know, like, you're setting boundaries with people and they're loving and accepting this, which makes sense here. I want to get one more card just because I feel like when it comes to romance, you're not too concerned about it, but it's definitely there. I feel like you're just having fun. Yeah. Queen of Cups. I feel like you're a little bit emotionally unavailable right now, pile 3. I feel like you're not actually giving too much emotionally, either because you know you're not ready or because you just want to keep it casual until you know you're ready to settle down. Some of you could be leading very busy lives. Sorry, leading very busy lives. Why is that hard to say? Maybe maybe you don't want to talk about your busy life and you use romance as a bit of a fun escape every now and then, but you know you don't want to settle down just yet, or you know that the options you have right now are just for fun, and that's okay. You know, maybe you're actively seeking people that are not wanting to settle down either because you don't want to as well. Yeah, I'm getting like Megan Thee Stallion vibes. What does she say? Like, I don't want to tame him, I'm a dog too. In oh, what song is that? Wannabe? I love that song, by the way. He don't want to be save, don't save him. That's what I'm hearing, and I feel like you live by that song. Oh, I love that song so much. Okay, so when it comes to dating and romance, you're having fun, you have great options, you're keeping only those that are worthy, and you're not ready to settle down, you're just having fun. Let's go ahead and move on to the self-love though. And part of your self-love is accepting that you're not ready for something serious. I mean, I feel like if we were honest with ourselves, like, yeah, it'd be nice to have something committed, but if you know you're in an energy where you can't have that or you don't want that, then that's okay too, as long as you're honest with yourself. Especially if you're a woman, by the way. I feel like men have an easier time with that kind of energy than women, but women also have to be honest with themselves. It's like, do you want to settle down? A lot of women don't. A lot of them don't want families or anything. They just want to have fun, focus on their career, and be free. I mean, I know I currently am in that energy. Would it be nice to find someone committed? Yeah, but right now I'm going through an amount of things that won't allow for that easily. So there's no point in there's no point in pursuing that. I'm just having fun. So when it comes to the self-love, 2 of Cups. Oh, this started because somebody made you feel that you weren't enough. I don't know if they told that straight to your face or they just made you feel that way. But you know who you are and you know what you want, and somebody made you feel less than, and you're like, okay, so it got kickstarted by somebody here. I don't think you're attached to them anymore. I don't even think you want this person, and they're definitely not one of your options. But I feel like this came about because of a relationship that didn't end well. We also have the 8 of Pentacles. Yeah, you're working on your bag. Part of loving yourself is giving yourself all the money and all the goods that nobody else can give you. This could also be, again, maybe you're hitting the gym, you're focusing on your health, both mental and physical here. We have the Sun. This is confidence. And you know what's odd? I feel like you're not the most confident person in the world, but you're still very aware of your worth. You don't have to be the most beautiful person. You don't even have to be the most intelligent, sure, or rich person to be the most confident, but you know what you are worth, and that is more valuable than anything. Justice, yeah. A lot of people have done you dirty in the past, and I feel like you're still healing from a lot of really crappy relationships, so it's no wonder that you kind of don't want to settle down right now. And again, this is okay. You're in a healing phase. Some people heal through being a hoe, and that's okay. I'm not calling you a hoe, pile 3, but I love that energy. It's like, especially if you recently came out of a divorce or a long-term relationship where things just didn't end well or whatever the case may be. Maybe some of you have been widowed or something along those lines. Like you just know you're not ready to settle down emotionally. So you're just having fun, and that's okay. Aphrodite is telling you this is okay. The Love Goddess is telling you this is okay. You know, especially if you're a woman, because men do this all the time and they don't think twice about it. But even as a woman, that's still okay. Because I feel some guilt from some of you. Or like, maybe people have made you feel guilty for being this way. And I see this a lot with my friends as well. It's like, you know, there's no need to settle down. You're still young. You're still having fun. And it's okay to do that. Let's see. We also have the 4 of Wands. Yeah, you're just enjoying yourself. But again, it's reversed. So there's like a bit of a guilt here. And one more card. The Hermit. But the thing is like, you don't want to keep yourself in hermit energy. You don't want to close yourself off so much that you never have a chance with anything or anyone again. It's like you're insisting on keeping things open, because that's one way of loving yourself, is giving yourself the opportunity for something fun, giving yourself the opportunity to be loved, adored, cherished, to have fun, to go out, travel, to see the world. This is one way you love yourself, is giving yourself opportunities and not just keeping yourself locked up, being all introspective and self-reflective. Not that there's anything wrong with that, of course. If you do want to do that, by all means. But for a lot of you, having fun is a way of healing here, whether that's with somebody else or by yourself. But let's go ahead and move on to beauty. For my pile 3, my beautiful pile 3, like, I can already tell you guys are baddies. Like, I don't even have to look at the beauty section, but let's see what we've got going on there. We've got the King of Swords. Yeah, somebody made you feel like you were ugly, or like they were really good at making you feel like you were not worthy, whatever the case may be. I don't know who this person is. It must be somebody from your past, or in some cases, it could even be like a father figure or like a family member, unfortunately. But I do see this a lot, especially if you have like siblings that they compared you to. I get this a lot with people who feel like they're not worthy enough because somebody else was the favorite sibling or somebody else was the more attractive sibling. We have the Three of Swords. Yeah, a lot of you, you just feel like you're not enough visually. Or you could feel like your looks are fading. For those of you who are getting older, Three of Coins. A lot of people have given you a lot of opinions about what you look like. And I'm here to tell you, screw them. Like, who cares what they think? They may think that, but somebody else will absolutely find you gorgeous, attractive. In fact, I know you are. Pile 3, I know you are. So all these little whispers of like people from your past or whatever the case may be telling you that you're not good enough, forget them. Like, I'm kind of getting annoyed with their energy. Because I know you're a hottie. I know you're a baddie. Seven of Pentacles. Yeah. So as a result, you kind of, I think especially in your youth, you kind of gave up on your looks. But I feel like as of recently, you've spent a little bit more time on like, you know, hitting the gym, doing skincare, dressing well. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Knight of Wands. Because let me tell you, you have a lot of admirers. Specifically admirers who like you physically. So you are attracting a lot of people who like you physically. So if you feel like you're physically unattractive, this is a falsehood. This is not true. I just feel like there's been things from your past, people from your past, and like even subconscious thoughts or whatever that make you feel you are this way. And I got this in another pile as well. So you might be coming from that. But my goodness, people are so attracted to you physically. Like they literally see you and they just want to get with you. So I promise you, you're very attractive. Yeah, Ten of Pentacles. And I feel like more importantly, as long as you're healthy, I think you're good. Like maybe some of you don't even focus too much on beauty because I'm hearing that song by Beyonce, Pretty Hurts. As long as you're healthy and as long as people are attracted to you, I feel like you're good. But there's definitely this subconscious feeling that somebody from your past, whether it was family, former lovers, whatever the case, made you feel that you were not enough, made you feel that you were ugly. Maybe they got with somebody who looked very different from you, or like if they were similar, they had something that you clearly didn't have, so that made you question your own looks and your own beauty. Back of the deck, yeah, Seven of Wands, but you're not letting that bother you anymore. Or at the very least, if you are, you know to remind yourself just exactly what an amazing, beautiful person you are inside and out, because nobody can tell you who or what you are. Like, you are so sure of yourself, and I can see why people are attracted to you. In fact, I feel like you actually break a lot of hearts because it's like, I think people would like to give you a love offer, but you're just here like, actually, I'm just having a great time and I'm not ready to settle down. And as long as you're honest about that, I think you're going to be okay. But right now, the Goddess of Love is telling you, freedom is a way that you show yourself love. Freedom is a way that you show yourself love. But let's go ahead and move on to some closing advice. I absolutely love this pile, by the way. I would definitely be your friend. I would definitely be your wingman, wingwoman. So we're going to start with the Guardian Angel cards. For my pile 3. We have courage, dare to be different, to make mistakes. Create, for it is in creation that you exist. In this world of dreams that stem from the eternal heart, you are one with all creation. All is possible. Go forth and be true to yourself, for it is only through being true to you that you can be true to others. Yeah, I feel like for a lot of you, you're full of courage, you're full of bravery, you're also full of like, it's a confidence. Even though you don't see it as a confidence, it truly is. Because even though you may not be the best at something, it doesn't mean that you're not aware of your value here, because you're very aware of it, or you will step into this energy soon. Let's get your Lover's Oracle card. And then we're going to do channeled messages from either past, present, or future lovers. Or just the universe in general. Anything that needs to come through. We have this one. Look deep within your heart and you will feel my love. My love for you is as deep as the ocean. This could be spirit or source telling you about the love, but it could also be your own love that you feel for yourself. Your love runs deep. Your love is something so amazing and magnetic, but I feel like you're not giving anybody access to that except yourself right now, because you are working on you and you know you're going. This is very much a pile that understands that the greatest love story they will ever have is with themselves, and you're very much living it. Go ahead and get the rest of your cards. I am planning on messaging you soon. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if your phone was always blowing up with messages from people who want to get with you. Or who are just attracted to you. Sliding in your DMs and whatnot. I don't feel ready. This is definitely you, pile 3. I feel like you know you're not ready for anything serious, but you're just having fun. You could also be attracting people who are in the same energy. I'm getting lost in the memories. I feel like you have to ward against thinking too much on the past. You have to live in the now and in the future, because I feel like there's a lot of hurt in your past that it doesn't benefit you to look back on. Because even though there's a lot of beautiful things in the past as well, I think it comes in conjunction with the hurt, and I don't think that's fair to you. I've been trying to distract myself from my feelings. Again, for those of you who you know you're emotionally unavailable, maybe you're distracting from something deeper here, but I feel like you're not going to let it be I feel like you're not going to let yourself be distracted from this too much, because you know that if you handle something the moment it comes up, then it's better to, life gets easier to handle. It's better to deal with it the moment you feel it, or as soon as you know you're aware of something. I'm planning on calling you soon. My goodness, who is like messaging you and calling you, pile 3? Because I just see a phone blowing up. You might have to block some people who you just don't want to hear from. Let's get a few more cards. Let's start over. Oh, there's definitely somebody from the past who wants to start things over, but that's going to be up to you. But I feel, again, I'm feeling like you don't want to deal with past energy anymore. I want more than what we have. This could be that past person. This could also be people that you are meeting with right now who kind of want a little bit more than what you have to offer, but you're not ready to give that. And then back of the deck, you drive me crazy. Oh, you're definitely driving people crazy, pile 3, because you look amazing, you are amazing, and you're just not ready to like settle down, and that's okay. But this is where I leave it, pile 3. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Hello, pile 4. If you chose Aphrodite, the Lover's card from the Mythos Tarot, then we have a reading here for you about messages from Aphrodite to see what the Goddess of Love has to tell you, any messages that need to come through. The tarot portion will have romance, self-love, and then beauty sections, so that we get messages in all 3 of those categories. We're going to start with the oracles just to see what the overall messages that she wants coming through for you. I say she as if she was an actual person. Maybe some of you really do work closely with her. But let's go ahead and get some cards for you. Pile 4. We have Life Force, Ankh, number 10. So some of you're dealing with like Kundalini awakenings or even energy. Maybe you're learning to tap into energy when it comes to things like beauty and love. We also have joyfulness, music, and a lot of you could actually be incorporating some loving energy through music. I know I tend to do this sometimes. Like if I'm getting ready, I just listen to music that hypes me up, or sometimes I'll listen to like romantic music. I was actually listening to that earlier today. I was listening to like oldies, classic romantic songs. I don't know why I was in that mood, because I don't really have anyone, but I was just in that mood. But maybe for some of you, music is a way that you tap into your Venusian energy or your heart space. Like it helps you set the mood, if you will, or even feel better about yourself. Let's go ahead and get more cards for you for my pile 4s. This could be my pile of people who already have somebody, by the way, because you did choose the Lover's card, and the Lovers is a union here. We have the Queen. Oh, I love this. So a lot of you, this is about your self-worth, and I'm loving this energy, honestly. You're definitely in your Queen energy. I also associate this with Empress energy. I want to get one more. The Box. Why am I hearing Pandora's box? I feel like some of you are exploring aspects of yourself that you haven't before, especially in terms of like love, romance, and beauty, or even self-love, like different ways of loving yourself. Let's go ahead and get more cards for my pile 4. We have Circe manifest. A lot of you are manifesting something, specifically with beauty. Maybe you're working with like subliminals to make yourself look a certain way, or maybe you're manifesting like some good quality products to wear. This is more beauty than anything for whatever reason, because I'm being shown, and I'm not saying you're doing this pile 4, but I'm being shown the mother from Tangled, from the Rapunzel movie from Disney. It's kind of like you're trying to figure out ways to keep your youth, or trying to figure out ways to keep your beauty. So maybe some of you are like contemplating cosmetic procedures. We also have not mystery. There's a mystery to you that people really like. Like, I feel like your look is very mysterious. You could have an ambiguous look to you that people really adore. For whatever reason, this is coming through very physically. Like this pile, we're talking about like physical beauty and whatnot. So not so much romance, though we will get into that in the tarot portion. But a lot of you are here more to talk about like beauty inside and out. So let's go ahead and get more cards, as well as self-love, of course. For my pile 4, ooh, we have endure. Endure. Again, something about aging or even enduring something. Maybe some of you are like going through something and you're wondering if it's going to affect your beauty. For example, if you have like some sort of medical condition, you're kind of worried of how it's going to affect the way you look. Or if you're undergoing a transformation, maybe you're working out more, you're afraid of how it's going to change your body for better or worse. Like there's a lot of concern here with like physical appearance. Back of the deck for this, we have channel. Some of you are beauty channelers, or you channel Aphrodite very strongly, because out of all the piles, I feel like this is the one, like I said, I feel like I'm talking to a person when I'm talking about Aphrodite. Like she's over there, like she's our friend. She's part of the crew, you know. I feel like she's one of our girls here for whatever reason. So some of you could already actively work with her and you're not aware of it, or she's a very strong guide for you. Like how angels and gods can be guides to us. I feel like you're already very strongly working with her, which is really interesting, because she's not one of the goddesses I work with the strongest, if at all. So I feel like you guys do, which is great. But let's go ahead and get more cards for you, pile 4. What messages want to come through? We have Svadhisthana, which is the sacral chakra. So a lot of you are also dealing with the sacral chakra. There could be I'm hearing some of you, sacral energy, which is creative energy, but it can also be very sensual energy. And for those of you who have had children, we could also be dealing with like the impact that has had on our either love life, self-love, or our beauty, which makes sense, because I get a feeling that some of you are like something medical has happened to you, or maybe something internal has happened. I'm getting that strongly, and it's affected something. It could also just be aging, you know, like I feel like that happens a lot. Like for those of you in like perimenopause or menopause in general, I feel like for a lot of you, you're worried of how your looks are either fading, changing, what you're working with. And that's fair, you know. I am at that age. I am 34, and even though people tell me I look young, you know, I'm very aware that I am aging. Let's get more cards for you. We have Dharma. Ooh, for a lot of you, there's something about your life purpose here. It could be your life purpose to bring beauty into the world, whether that's through being, for example, working in like being an esthetician, or helping people, like working in the beauty industry or even fashion industry here, because or anything visual. I feel like this pile, you're really concerned with like aesthetics. You're concerned more with the beauty aspect. Maybe some of you are artists or something akin to that. There's a lot of creative energy, again, like I said, here with the sacral chakra. So I feel like you always have a constant need to create. You always have a constant need to be making beautiful things. Some of you could have something similar to like Mars and Libra. Mars and Libra people, they're just beautiful in general, and like they're really good at like having a great aesthetic, or anything in Libra, or Venus in like a positive placement, like trying something, or even in the first house, which I have, but it's like squared by everything, so it's not my strongest suit. But for a lot of you, you're really good at bringing out the beauty in life, bringing out the beauty in people. You're good at empowering people as well, and this is part of what makes yourself very beautiful. I'm not getting strong like I said, either you're already in a relationship or you don't really care about romance here, because I'm getting more than anything that like there's something about wanting the beauty of life to always be with you. And I feel like a lot of you actually do this. Like you bring beauty into the world and you don't even recognize it in whichever way it is. For a lot of you, it could be through the arts. I'm getting that rather strongly. Back of the deck, Shiva. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I'm gonna read from the book for Shiva because he's got an interesting story. I want to say he is a god of yoga as well. I want to say his consort is Parvati, who is a goddess. She's one of the many goddesses of love. Yeah. Oh, and I opened right up to her. Yeah, goddess of devotion, love, and yoga. Interesting. Which she's already present here because as a love goddess, she is another. She basically is Aphrodite in the Hindu religion, if you wanted to see it that way. So it's very interesting. Like I said, some of you could already have a counterpart, or there could be something here about attracting a partner through being the person that you are. So even if you're not actively seeking somebody, I feel like somebody will come to you, should you want that, of course, pile 4, because this is like easy. You have you easily attract people. You have an easy allure. You focus on yourself and your own thing, and you somehow just attract people. So from the book, we have God of Destruction and Rebirth. You are truly on a yogic path. Shiva is referred to as Adi Yogi, the first yogi ever. He attained enlightenment and abandoned himself in the ecstatic dance atop the Himalayas. When his ecstasy went beyond movement, he became utterly still. People could not understand his switch between ecstatic movement and stillness, and thought him mad. However, 7 students wanted to learn how he was moving past physical limitations. This is how he began teaching yoga. Shiva planted the seed of yoga into the human mind. Pulling Shiva represents moving past the limitations of your society, body, mind, or ego. It represents doing the inner work to evolve. It is also a call to service, to teach others your wisdom so they too can become liberated. Maybe some of you are really good at teaching or informing people about what you do. Also, yoga could be important for some of you. This could also just be a call to either step back into yoga or maybe take it up or further it. I know I need to. I haven't worked out in weeks because I am in a situation where I don't really have my own space right now. But for a lot of you, there's something here about dedicating yourself, dedicating to your practice so much that you go through a rebirth. It's like when you learn so much that you can't help but move, act, and think differently. This is what I'm getting. So for a lot of you, it doesn't matter what it is that you're focused on. You're going to learn so much about it because it is part of your life purpose to do so. And it's going to transform you essentially. Some of you could be going through a sort of Kundalini awakening. I did mention that, didn't I, with the life force and the sacral? Because I feel like you feel the Kundalini more than anywhere in the sacral because that's our creation zone. Sometimes I feel it in the third eye as well, especially if it's more intuitive hints. But for the majority of you, you will feel it in the sacral, sometimes up and down the back as well, or the solar plexus. But there's something here about unraveling the mystery of something. You're going to discover something new and you're going to share it with people, or you could come up with new ways of doing certain things. You could invent something or create something here, and it's going to help people out a lot. Which is very interesting. Some of you could be starting a business, or you could create a product that will start a business. Like, I feel like you focus more on the product itself or the service itself, and that creates the business without you realizing it. And it's kind of interesting that Aphrodite comes through here because I feel like this has to do with either beauty, love, self-love, romance, dating, or even, more sensual aspects of the human nature. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and move on to the tarot. This one was very straight to the point and clear. And like I said, not so much romance, but we are going to look into the tarot to see what exactly Aphrodite has to say in this reading. So we're going to do the tarot in 3 parts. We're going to start with romance, relationships. And for some of you, because I do feel like this pile may not really care for romance, you could also add friendships here. in lieu of romance. So we have the Four of Pentacles. Some of you are holding on to either some grudges from the past, or maybe something was hard to let go. The Pillar, Empress energy, yeah. Because you're very much in Empress energy. You have a lot of admirers. You're really good at being in your feminine energy, which not a lot of people can say. The Seven of Cups reversed, I feel like you know you have options, but you don't care for them, or you're just not... Either you're not aware you don't care for them, or you're just not impressed by what you have. Or you could still be getting options even though you're already taken. Again, like I said, for those of you already in a connection, and you're just like... You're aware that if you were to leave your person, you could always get somebody else. But like I said, it's not important to you right now. We have the Hierophant reversed, karmic lessons, lovers. Okay. Back of the deck, Page of Cups. I'm going to go ahead and leave that there. So some of you could be... I feel like you have a lot of admirers, you have a lot of secret crushes, and you're aware of them, but you don't care for that because either you're okay on your own, or you already have a partner, or for whatever reason, you're just like, I don't really seem to care. Karmic lesson lets me know, though, that maybe people have accused you of being flirtatious when you're not, or you just attract attention because of how you look and you don't want to. Because I'm getting a big nope energy from the romance. Either, again, because you don't want anybody, or you have somebody, so therefore you don't care to be pulling what you're pulling. But regardless, you are pulling people, and I think you just don't care for that. The only issue I have with this is that be careful not to, and I'm not saying you have to entertain this romantic attention, because it really does seem like you don't want it. I'm just saying don't make yourself feel... Like, how do I put this? The example I'm being shown is like sometimes people will go out of their way to make themselves ugly to not attract attention, like wearing baggy clothes, not wearing any makeup, or... I'm not saying that you need makeup or anything, but you know, going out of their way to just look less attractive. I know I used to do this when I was younger, when I didn't want romantic attention, but I was getting it. I would just do things that made me feel ugly, because that's going to affect how you carry yourself. So it's like, love and accept that you are absolute beauty in every single way. Love and accept that you get attention, because not everybody does. But also don't, like, I'm not saying to entertain them, but don't be afraid of the power that you have visually to attract people. That is actually something positive. It's basically pretty privilege. Don't be afraid of using your pretty privilege in other ways, because like I said, a lot of you don't care for the attention you're getting. You might be getting too much attention, and you're just like, I don't want it. But you know, be proud and happy, and consider yourself lucky that you do have that. You know, I hope that makes sense. It's like, I know you don't want to use that for anything negative, but it's like, also don't be afraid of your own power, of your own magnetic pull here. Let's go ahead and go on to self-love. We have the Moon. You have a tricky relationship with your self-love. Sometimes you think you love yourself, and then you realize that you actually don't, because something will trigger you. Yeah, Two of Wands. Like, somebody will have to show you something, or somebody may say something and suddenly you feel weird, or even like an experience or a situation. You think you love yourself, and then suddenly somebody says something about somebody else or towards you, or something. Like, just little things trigger you here and there, and then you kind of start putting yourself in a weird space. Yeah, the Fool. And it makes you feel like you're always starting over this journey of self-love. Eight of Cups. And sometimes you just kind of wish you didn't have to deal with it. It's like, I'm hearing you complain to yourself, or to Aphrodite, whoever it may be. It's like, why do I have to keep loving myself? Why can't I just know how to do it and not have to worry about it? There's like a reluctance to do the heart chakra energy work here. There's a reluctance to work on your self-confidence as well. It's like, you kind of wish you already just had it figured out, so it wouldn't be a problem. Because I see other people not have this problem. Like, you see them just be happy with themselves, or attract what they need to attract, and be comfortable in their body or in their Venusian energy, and you kind of wish that you had this too. And that's fair. Like, I feel like sometimes it's a lot, especially if you have a lot of baggage in the heart chakra or the heart space. We have the World, yeah. But I do see you regardless, like, you ebb and flow between absolutely being okay and adoring yourself, and then suddenly getting triggered by just random things, which I know seems weird. It's like a back and forth with your self-love. And I feel like there's something about balance here that needs to, there's something about balance here. Yeah, Queen of Swords. I feel like you take a very logical approach to your self-love. It's like you love yourself because you have to, because who else will? Because if you don't love yourself, I'm hearing RuPaul. If you don't love yourself, how can anybody else love you? Or whatever it is that he says. Or Beyonce says something similar in the song Is It My House? It's like, I forget what she says. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to look it up. But she's like, I don't expect you to love me when you don't love yourself. Yeah, that's what she says. She says, I don't expect you to love me when you don't love yourself. So for a lot of you, you're dealing with like the love of people, the love of yourself, and how that affects you and how you view the world, which is very interesting. And then let's move on to beauty, because I can tell a lot of you, you're more focused on the beauty aspect here. So we have 5 of coins, we have 8 of swords, we have Ace of Wands. Yeah, you're going to take a new approach to beauty soon. And the 4 of Cups. Because whatever you're doing right now, it's kind of stuck in the past or it's become stagnant. Maybe you're recognizing that the beauty routine you used to do, like when you were younger, doesn't suit you anymore. Like, for example, when we're younger, our skin tends to be a lot more flawless. We have less wrinkles. You know, it's just easier to look cute and pretty when we're younger, or attractive when we're younger. You know, we build muscle more easily. But as we get older, the body changes are coming through. You know, we produce less collagen. Our muscles tend to get a little weaker if we're not hitting the gym regularly. So I see you stepping up your beauty routine, not just beauty, by the way, but also health. Because for whatever reason, health and beauty are very intertwined in this particular pile. So you're doing both. It's like if you look healthy, you look beautiful, and vice versa. Maybe some of you are deciding to eat better and cutting out crap, which, you know, really does help. Whenever I cut out sugar and did keto, that helped a lot to clear up my skin. In fact, to this day, I feel like I don't get anywhere near as many pimples as I used to, which is very interesting. So maybe some of you are doing something along those lines. Let's get more cards. We have the 7 of Wands. Again, there's a reluctance here. You're like, why do I have to get old? I don't want to get old. Why do I have to change my routine? Because some of you could be scrambling around to see what could actually be helping or be better for you. Because I feel like what used to work for you, again, in the past isn't working for you now. And you're having to switch up your skincare, your makeup, your clothes as well. Or even just the way you work out, you know, like certain things just don't, it's just a difference here. And that's fair. I mean, like, that doesn't make you any less beautiful. Yeah, with the Seeker of Swords, you feel like a whole new person. You're undergoing a transformation where you're equally becoming very comfortable with yourself, but also finding new ways of handling the beautiful Venusian energy within you. For those of you who are single, just for the rare few of you who are single, it wouldn't surprise me if you gave in to having a relationship when you previously didn't want to. I know that seems kind of out of left field, but that message is coming very strongly here with the Lovers, because we have the Empress and the Lovers. Like, a lot of you, you're attracting people. So some of you could give a relationship a try, which I know seems interesting, even if, like, and I see this sometimes, people who never really had a relationship until like much later in their life because they never really cared for it, or they didn't really want anything, and then they became so comfortable with themselves and the person they were and what they had that as soon as they hit, I don't know, 40, 50, they were like, yeah, let me get somebody, and then they get married and they have a wonderful little life, even if there's no kids or nothing else. Like, all they do is just share the life they have together, and it's beautiful. I think it's very sweet, you know? I have seen stories like that. So for some of you, this could be an option if you currently don't care about romance that you may have later in life. Keep your options open, because I feel like the universe wants to bring in somebody for you. But take that only if it resonates, of course. I'm not saying you need anybody. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just feeling like as you get older, companionship might be something you look for, in something more than just friends, you know. And then back of the deck, we have the Star. Yeah, you don't see all the beautiful hope that you give. You inspire a lot of people as well. I feel like, again, with your aesthetics, your beauty, whatever it is that you create, you inspire a lot of people. A lot of you, you're very connected to Source, and you're very connected to the goddesses of love here, because out of all the piles, this has been the more clear. Like, the messages I'm getting from this one have been more clear than all the others. That said, this is a pile I don't resonate with either, so I know this isn't me. So I'm absolutely loving this energy for you, pile 4. Thank you so much for letting me be able to read it, because I a lot of these messages kind of like, they resonate with me in a way that I didn't think they would, which is interesting. But let's go ahead and move on to your closing advice. Also, lots of major arcana, letting me know that spirit is very much with you. So for closing advice, we are going to get a guardian angel card. For my pile fours. Okay, you get 2. We have courage. Dare to be different, to make mistakes. Create, for it is in creation that you exist. In this world of dreams that stem from the eternal heart, you are one with all creation. All is possible. Go forth and be true to yourself, for it is only through being true to you that you can be true to others. And then we have self-criticism. We, your angels, ask you to please be more compassionate towards yourself. Observe the times when you have critical thoughts about you, and make an effort to replace those negative thoughts with positive, loving ones. You are a wondrous being of light, even if at times you think you are less than perfect. Remember that God and divine perfection exist in all things. Yeah, for a lot of you, I feel like you have been very self-critical of yourself for a long time. I feel like you definitely have had to work through like negative self-talk, and I feel like you're finally overcoming it, or this could be something that you are overcoming pretty soon. But do beware of like this self-criticism. And maybe some of you have had like family members or a past where people have criticized you a lot, but you've had to learn how to overcome it or work through it. And this is a very strong energy, pile 4. Let's get a card from the Lover's Oracle. We have this tree. Time. You are trying too hard. Give it time. So this could just be random. I feel like whatever you're working on, give it some time and it will come through. That was a very short answer from that deck too. It felt like a yes/no kind of question. And then the last cards you're getting are some channeled messages. This could be from admirers. I'm going to say admirers for you. This could be from your person if you have one, or even from the goddess Aphrodite herself, from spirit, from the universe. Pile 4. I am not sure what I am feeling. This could be you. Maybe sometimes you go through moments where you don't know what you're feeling regarding yourself or other people. You are a great friend. So I feel like your friends definitely adore you and they think you are an amazing friend. I feel stuck. Some of you could be going through feelings of being stuck, or maybe you feel stuck right now. And that could be part of the reason why you don't know what you are feeling or what you are feeling. I am talking about you to others. So people definitely talk about you. This is positive though. I feel like people talk about you in positive ways, or maybe both ways, like positive and negative. But I feel like you forget that gossip can also be a positive thing, pile 4. I never met anyone like you before. You're very unique. Definitely very unique. And then the last card, I don't feel ready. So there could be something that you're about to do and you don't feel ready, or you may feel like you don't qualify, but I feel like it's going to happen regardless, and you're going to see just exactly how much you actually qualify. I'm getting lost in the memories. So nostalgia could be plaguing you, or you could be looking at like pictures of your younger self, or like things that used to happen in the past. And I feel like that's part of the reason you feel stuck. Accepting the present moment and accepting that a future awaits you with better things in mind will really help you through this time, pile 4. But this is where I leave it. Thank you so much for letting me read for you, pile 4. This has been such a lovely little reading and such a pleasure. One where somehow romance didn't even come through, even though we're talking about the goddess of romance herself, which is funny. But if you would like something more romantic, like regarding your romance life, feel free to reach out to me and I may do something, mention this reading and I may do something special for you. And we'll go from there. But this is where I leave you. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next reading. Take care.